Welcome. We're just getting set up. It's 11 o'clock on the money. How's it going this morning? It's Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day. Okay, we're set up here. And let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this. All right. Okay, we are ready to rock it. Happy Valentine's Day. Happy day 5 of our 5-day self-care mastery challenge. Yes. Okay, this is a little crooked, so yeah. No, that's not right. Hi, Nikki. How's it going? We're just getting set up here. We're on. Okay, so today's our last day of our 5-day self-care mastery challenge. I hope you've been enjoying all of the kind of tips and tricks and hacks and conversations we've been having about self-care. As always, remember to just introduce yourself. If you have questions for this half hour that we're going to be live, we'll be live from 11 a.m. Pacific right now to 11:30. If you have questions, type them in the box. If you want to say hello, tell us where you're from. I'm Shauna Bryant, the host of our 5-day self-care challenge. This was our 3rd round. We're ending it today. But it was so fun talking with you guys. I loved being tagged. I loved all the emails that I was getting and all the private messages and stuff. So I hope you got something out of it. But it's not over yet. We have day 5's discussion. What do I want to say first? Welcome, introduce yourself. Housekeeping, again, questions if you have them, you can message me, you can post in the little comment boxes, you know, wherever you're at, wherever you're listening to it. I'm going to open up something over here really quickly. Bear with me. Okay, so today's message is all about owning your self-care. When we've done these challenges, I think this is our 3rd round, this either triggers you, it makes you go, wow, that's a little rough, or it makes you think. So that's the whole point of us going live together. We're here to start talking about the discussion or having discussions about self-care and all the myths of self-care, right? So self-care is selfish, self-care is lazy, self-care is you fill in the blank, right? All these excuses, all these things that we've been trained to be, well, we've been taught over these years. Our caregivers, you know, how did they show us self-care when they were growing up or when we were growing up? This could have been your mom, your stepmom, your grandparents. What was the self-care? What was that? Was that non-existent in your home? And if that's the norm that you grew up in, it's the way that I grew up. So then now we're mirroring this stuff as we get older and we have our own children and our own families. And we start to do the stuff where we're bending over backwards always. We don't give ourselves permission to take a break or to have fun just for the heck of it, or you know, we're feeling guilty. There's just all these different things that we are experiencing when we talk about self-care, because we have these negative mindsets and these glass ceilings and these limitations that we can't do that until the house is clean, my husband's needs are met, my kiddos' needs are met, everyone else's needs are met ahead of my own, right? So if we're going through that cycle and surviving, you know, in survival mode, we're trying to take care of our kids and do all of this stuff, it starts to show itself in the way that we're showing up for ourselves, in the amount of exhaustion that we're experiencing, in the overwhelm, the resentment, the burnout, all of these things that we've been talking about this whole week. And what is that doing who is that doing any good for? It's not doing any good for our kids because we're snappier, we're grumpier. It's not doing any good for our husband. They feel it too. They're like, dude, WTF, you know, why are you so gripey all the time? So when we take ownership. This is the last missing key of day number 5, is taking ownership of our self-care. When we're able to do that, we give ourselves permission to dive into ourselves, to recharge our batteries, to fill our cups up, to hit the pause button, to take breaks, to get therapy if we need it, take walks, dance, play, have fun, have girls' night outs, whatever your one thing was that we talked about on day 2. So this one is a very sticky, kind of messy conversation, and I think it's really important to have it. It might trigger you. It might make you feel like, ew, she's a bee. But your self-care, hear this out. Be open-minded, open heart. Your self-care is no one else's responsibility but whose? Your own, right? Whose responsibility is it for you to schedule in yesterday's task, your self-care? Where are you at on the list? And these conversations can be very big and deep, and they're usually not warm and fuzzy, but if you look at it from a positive perspective, that self-care is my responsibility and no one else's, that's so empowering, right? It's like you are not waiting on anyone else's permission to take care of yourself, to schedule yourself on your to-do list, to do all of the stuff that you want to do. You're not waiting on permission. So you can either take it as a, ew, that's kind of rude, or kind of, you know, pissy a little bit, or you can take it for what it is. It's an empowerment. It's in your hands that you have the ability to take care of yourself. Make sure you're not running on fumes, not in survival mode. If you're feeling depressed or anxious or any of these things, that you have the power to schedule therapy, to schedule massages, to schedule yourself on your map. So how do you feel about that? How do you feel when I say it's 100% your responsibility, your self-care? How does that make you feel? Does it make you feel funky? Does it make you feel, wow, I never thought of it like that? I've been waiting on permission for my husband. I always ask him if I can do this. I'm waiting for, you know, me to lose weight, or me to get the perfect job, or me to make $50 million to do what, right? So it's 100% our responsibility to make sure that we're not running on fumes on a consistent basis, that we're so overwhelmed we can't even enjoy the simple things like Valentine's Day, right? If you love or hate Valentine's Day, it's not the thing, but it's all about love, and self-love can be a part of that. It really needs to be a part of your self-care routine. You know, what do you want? You know, speaking that, communicating that to your spouse, or to your people, or you know, what do you need, right? So it's also our job to make sure that we're not so tired that we're in reactive mode 24/7, right? Or that you're just surviving. I was in survival mode for so long. When I had my third, it was like, holy, threw a wrench in everything, you know? And then now my boys are 12, 8, and 5. Just when I thought I had parenting down, my oldest goes into be a preteen. Here comes the attitude, the no, I'm like, wait, where's my mama's boy? I need him back. I want to rest with him, and I want to snuggle with him and sleep with him, and rub his back and his hair, you know. Now he's like, oh, mom, don't touch me, you know. So we're going through this new stage of parenting. But where are you at on that? How are you able to show up for that stuff, right? How are you able to really be confident and know, you know, I'm doing my best right now. This is a hard time in my life, and momming and all of these things that have been going on, but I'm doing my best. I'm showing up for myself. I'm showing up for my family. But we can't do that when we're constantly sacrificing our needs ahead of everyone else's, right? So I said here in our member portal, if you're not on it, you can still join innerworkingsmovement.com if you're late to the game. But no one is going to remind you every single day to give yourself a break. We're here for these 5 days saying, hey, your needs are important. Go do it. Here's some simple tips to do it, right? But it's not going to be your husband. He'll say it maybe every once in a while when he sees that you're tapped out, but no one is going to remind you every day. That's why it's so important for you to realize it's your responsibility to do that. And I'm not trying to be harsh. I'm not trying to be anything. This has always been the one that has caused a lot of deep conversations in that. So are you using work as an excuse maybe that you can't take some time for yourself? One girl mentioned in the comments that she uses work as an excuse to why she can't take care of herself, because she's super, they keep piling more and more and more stuff on with her schedule. But at the end of the day, you still have your scheduled breaks, right? So if we're using those excuses, or I can't, or pointing the finger or blame or all of that stuff, it really just comes back to us. And as soon as we can take 100% ownership of where we're at and how we're showing up for ourselves and how we're representing what we want to do and what we can do to fill our bodies up with like amazingness, right? The better it is for us and everyone around us. Everyone around us will also feel those positive side effects when we start filling up our own cups. So this was just my call to really start thinking about your mindset. How are you showing up for yourself? Are you constantly putting everyone else's needs ahead of your own and then feeling resentful afterwards? Are you giving yourself permission to just go dance and play and have fun and horse around or move your body or sign up for a yoga membership or a dance class or a ukulele class or cribbage or whatever you want to do, right? Are you giving yourself permission to do that? Or who are you waiting for permission on? And these are awesome questions to be having. This one you can write down in a journal and just go after it, right? What are you waiting on? That's the big question of the day. What are you waiting on to do you? Big question. You don't need permission to take care of yourself, bottom line. And I'll be the first one to say, I was there. I was always waiting on permission from my husband, right? I was always waiting on him anyway. He was always flipping late when he was coming home from work, but I was always waiting on for permission from him. Hey, I want to go to the gym today. No, you schedule it in and you do you, right? You don't need permission from anyone. You are only in control of your life and your body, not even anyone else around you. You can't control your kids, right? We've had this discussion before so many times. You cannot control your kids. They are individual human beings, and the more you try to control them, the more they react, or we're trying to mold them into something that they're actually not, right? We learn a lot of this where the kids go to school. They go to a really kind of hippie school. But it's just guiding them. Like that's the one thing that we can do for our children. But this person is the only one that we can control. And when we're able to realize that we don't have any control around anyone else's life, we can't control our husbands. We can't essentially control our kids. Maybe when they're, tiny, but you are in charge of you, and this is an invitation. This is why I saved this one till the end, because it can be like a really food for thought. You can really get into this and just be like, wow, how can I take this conversation as a conversation starter, right? So take your self-care, go after it. What is it that you want to do that will make you feel good? What's your one thing that you want to do to focus on? It could be for our 5 days together, which ends right now or today. It could be something that you want to pick up, like a new habit or a new, I don't know, riding a bike. Or my friend, she's like 50 years old and just started training for this, what's that called? I don't know. It's like a bicycle training thing. Like that's awesome. And she stuck with it because she has accountability. We talked about that on day number 1. But what is it that you want to do for yourself to make yourself feel good and energized and happy? It's not what the gurus tell you on social media. It's not the people with 50 million followers. It's not anything like that. It's literally, what do you want? And that's why the connecting with yourself is so important, and surrounding yourself with people that can hold you accountable. But it's you figuring out what recharges my battery, what fills my cup up, what helps me take a break and just shed all the stress and stuff off. So I invite you to do that. I invite you to look at it, look at this question, and think about it, right? Think about how are you showing up for yourself? Are you noticing you're a little bit more just impatient or feeling just kind of like yucky, right? For like a general period of time, not around the time of the month, nothing like that. We go through all those things during our 28 cycle. But on a continual basis, how are you feeling? Do you need some extra support? Do you need to ask for help? Do you need to delegate? Do you need to come up with creative ways to give yourself a break if you're in survival mode, right? Usually you're in survival mode, especially with the babies, when you have like a total little one at home, and you're not sleeping and all of that. Like, that's just chaos. The first year of a kid's life is absolute chaos. But after that, are you in that? Are you still in that? Do you need some support? Do you need some therapy? Do you need to talk to your doctor about what's going on? Like, it's just about you sitting quietly enough to figure out what's going on, and to stop wearing the I'm fine mask. My friend in my yoga studio who introduced me to self-care like 7 years ago, she was like, she called this a veil. You know, we're wearing this veil. I'm good, I'm fine, you know. And then really, like, how are you? How are you doing? How really are you? I think I told you guys maybe this, or maybe this was in my membership the last couple of weeks. My boys and I do a heart check. So I'm very trying to teach these boys how to be sensitive and empathetic and connect with their hearts, right? And be mindful of when other people are maybe feeling a little bit of like, hey, what's wrong? Can I help you? Kind of a thing. So we do a heart check-in. I go, hey, how's your heart? Right? So if I were to ask you right now, how's your heart? How's your heart doing? Has anyone ever asked you that? Have you asked yourself that? Where you sit, I always point over here because it's my most amazing space. I have a fireplace and we haven't had a fireplace in years. I like to sit by the fire and just check in with myself. So if I asked you to go sit down for 10, 5, 15, 20 minutes, what would you say? What would you write down? And this is for you. You don't have to announce this to the world or anything, but when someone asks you or you check in with yourself, how am I doing? Are you wearing the I'm fine mask is what I call it. My girlfriend calls it the veil, right? Are you wearing this I'm fine? And then you're just blah, 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 blah. And you're doing all your plates and you're rushing around and doing all this stuff and you never slow down enough to connect to what's going on here. So that's super, super important. I want you to just know, I'm not trying to be, you know, bitchy or pushy or anything like that, but it's time to take back your power. If you've never had it, that's okay. If you feel like you are, you know, in a space where it's everyone first, that's okay. We've been trained to think like this, that, you know, someone told me the other day, I'll sleep when I die. Like, what? I need sleep. I haven't been sleeping for 12 years because I've had kids and nursed and babies and all of this stuff. I need sleep right now to make myself feel good. I go to bed at like 9 o'clock. But that level of exhaustion and that level of burnout, and it's just like, you know, on this, I think I told you the other day, the plates, my therapist was like, you're spinning like 1,000 plates and it's just going to be crashing. And that's what happened. Adrenal fatigue, candida, super snappy, relationship issues, all of this stuff, depression and anxiety, all of it, because it came crashing down because I was not filling my cup up. I was just like, I've got this. I'm a superstar, mom. I've got it. And then it crashed because your body will tell you, it's like, okay, I'm giving you a little bit of warning signs here and there, like, hey, you need to slow down a little, and then it will make you crash with whatever. Epstein-Barr, it'll give you, what's that one? Oh, I just lost it. Darn it, Shauna. It's the one, the autoimmune stuff. My new doctor just talked about that. Anyway, you get the gist, okay? I hope that this is resonating with you. I'm not trying to be a pain in the rear, but we need to have these conversations about self-care. How are we showing up for ourselves? How are you showing up for yourself? And what can you do to just take these last 5 days, the missing keys, because this is all about you. Essentially, at the end of the day, it's all about you showing up for yourself and scheduling it in, choosing your one small thing, connecting with yourself and other human beings so you can create a community and feel good and feel like you're supported and held and you have like safe containers to speak about what's going on. So I hope that helps. I see people hopping in on here, hopping off and on. So let me see. We have, hi Nikki, hi Candace, hi SWA, hi Kat Durst. If you guys have questions or you just want to pop in and say, hey, have at it. So I think that's all. I want to keep this one short and sweet. I don't want to go over today, but I do know that this is a very juicy topic and it can be a little rough around. But the point of it is you can either take this ownership as a kind of an attack to your heart, if you will. I hope you don't. Or you can take it as an empowerment. Who or what are you waiting on permission from to live your life, to take care of yourself, to schedule yourself on your map, on your to-do list? What are you waiting permission from? And this you might not even think like, wait, who am I? But if you're not doing the steps that you want to do every single day, if you're not doing the stuff that fills your cup, that fills your body with just confidence and radiance and energy and all of that stuff, why is that? And we need to have these deep conversations to figure out what's going on beneath the surface so you can figure out, hey, I actually want to do this. And you'll really want to just start showing up for yourself because you feel the positive side effects. Your family feels this positive side effects. It's your mindset. Like, how are you speaking? I posted a post on Instagram a while back, and it was like, I'm a sucky mom. I'm fat. I'm ugly. I can't do that. My hips are too wide, or, my kids are terrible, whatever. It's all this negative self-talk that we talk to ourselves like on a consistent basis. So that really resonates into how we feel. If we're talking so poorly to ourselves and our inner critic is just so icky, that really does damage to our bodies and to our mindset. So if you can kind of start adjusting that a little bit, like, hey, I'm doing my best, or if there's a part of your body or something that you don't like, change that, because your mind believes whatever it's saying. It's like, oh yeah, I am fat, yeah, and then you start to believe it. So how can you kind of start shifting that into more of a positive way to speak to yourself? One tip I have, and then we're gonna head off. Right before you go to bed, I listened to this meditation a couple months ago, and I shared it on social media. But it was like, your thoughts before you go to bed are the most important thoughts, because you're marinating on them. So if you can try to just maybe do like a couple-minute meditation of like, I am thoughts. Like these are I am, you can call them affirmations, statements, whatever it is. So like, I am beautiful. I am a badass. That was my word of the year for like 3 years. I am strong. I am such a good mom. And really, whether or not you believe it or not, that's not the point of it, but it's you just kind of retraining all those things that you're saying to yourself right before you go to bed, right? And then those are what you marinate on for the whole 7, 8, 9 hours that you sleep. Does that make sense? So it's like these positive affirmations, and do it consistently. And this can be your one small thing that we talked about on day 2, but this can be a consistent thing, like, no, I'm going to speak nicely to myself. I'm going to speak kindly. I'm going to speak powerfully and strong, and, not the fake it till you make it. I guess, I don't know, that statement is a little odd, but it's like doing it anyway, even if you don't believe it, even if you don't want to think that, or you don't feel it, or you don't think you're good enough or worthy enough, or all of these things. try something different. Try speaking kindly. Like if you, the way that you're speaking to yourself, you probably would never say that to your daughter or your son or your family members, right? So don't speak badly about yourself. And even if you don't believe it, again, this was just, I think it was Wayne Dyer's meditation. I shared it. But he was just like, you're literally marinating whatever just happened that night. You're marinating on that, your brain, your subconscious, all of these things that you're going through. You're marinating on that. So how can you speak more positively? How can you be grateful? I know Jan's on here. She's talking about gratitude lately. How can you be more grateful for all the positive that's there? And if we can do that, you really start to change this mindset of self-criticism or negative self-talk or all of that kind of stuff. So I want you to just take these little things, whatever they are, and try to choose one thing. You know, you don't have to meditate and do positive affirmations and exercise and all of this stuff all at once. You just do one thing. Try to do one thing that like doesn't take a lot of time for like 5 or 10 minutes a day, and just focus on that one thing for the month, right? Not 20 different things. I'm going to run a marathon and I'm going to read and I'm going to lose weight and I'm going to, you know, that is a recipe for disaster, and you'll feel like a failure because after the first 3 or 4 or 5 days, you'll be totally burnt out. And that's what this whole challenge is trying to help you overcome. So what can you do for yourself in just a short amount of time that helps you feel good, that helps gain confidence, helps you, you know, flex your self-care muscles so you feel like a badass, so you feel like a really rock star mom, even when it gets, you know, you're dealing with the teenagers like I'm about to deal with. But I hope that helps you. I want to share really quickly a couple of things. I don't have my bowl. Let me go over here. Hang tight. Hi, Jan. Hi, Michelle. Thanks for coming on. We had a winner. I don't have my bowl, but so Shauna, I was rushing this morning. So we had our winner of our Oracle deck. Yes, somebody won the Oracle deck from yesterday's post. It was Tina S. She posted, she tagged me. I appreciate that. You guys, this has been really fun. I hope these little things that we've been giving away, they're just some little things. It's not like most expensive diamonds or whatever, but it's some things that like I like that have helped me over these years that I've really gotten into, like saging the house and doing all this other stuff and listening to music. So thank you for that one. Also, we have one more giveaway, and that's today, because this whole day is day 5, so I want you to still have the chance to win this. So this is the grand prize, and I hope you'll get in on it, guys. You can tag me, you can message me. I know it was kind of confusing, so if you need to message me, I'll take it all as the same. We did this a little bit differently this time around, but to win my favorite music in the whole entire planet, Shauna, the one thing idea is so right on for me today. I know, Jan, I love this. I love it. When I discovered this a couple of years ago, I was like, this is brilliant. Like literally one small thing. And it can be a minute. Remember what we talked about meditations? I think I told you my story of meditating. You don't want to go meditate for 400 hours with the Buddhists. You want to do what works for you in this day and age with 5 million things that we have to do every single day. So the minute, right? So my favorite CDs, Stick Figure CD. Guys, I didn't prepare very well today. Would have sucked. My smudging tools, which are over there, but I can't go over there. Oracle deck, and 30 minutes of chatting with me. No strings attached, no selling, nothing. It's literally just like a fun, open communication. You can call it a coaching call, whatever you want. I'm opening up some spots in a little bit, but I love connecting with the community. I did a couple of calls in December. So much fun. I'm not selling anything to you. It's just a time to get on the call, to be heard, and to have somebody understand and listen. I know I need more of that in my life, especially with my husband, who drives me nuts. I love you, but you drive me nuts. So that's today's prize. Today's prize is like $350, guys. That's the value, because it's all the stuff that we basically did this whole week that we gave out, and then the call with me. So I hope that you'll go after that, guys. Even if you're on live or if you're watching the replay, try to do that. It's so much fun. I mean, I'm down to earth. I talk about whatever. And I've helped a lot of people the last couple of years as we've kind of moved into self-care. And I want to help. And if I can just help you talk or move through stuff, or you just feel like you have a sounding board. Jan and I did one, I want to say maybe mid last year. So good. It was so fun. And I like seeing what people are up to, you know, and how can I help? I have a lot of business background. I also have a crazy lot of like momming experience. Like, I mean, I'm not the best mom in the whole world, but I feel like I've kind of got it a little bit, and I have a lot of hacks and stuff that I use. So that's that. So tag me. Tell me if you found this helpful today. It's all about ownership. Seriously, all about ownership. Hi, Ashley. Owning your self-care, not making it complicated. I mean, honestly, let me go back just to, we're gonna just do a quick recap and then we'll go move on for the day. Okay, so number one, day one, connecting mostly with yourself. That's the first and foremost, because if you go and do all these spa days and you go do all these, you know, whatever, week-long vacations by yourself, and then you get there and you're like, God, I'm miserable. It's because you don't know what's going on here. So connecting with your heart, connecting with yourself, figuring out what you need. And it takes a while. That's why everything that we do, I started the Inner Workings movement. It's all about doing the inner work. So reaching out to people, getting therapy if you need it. There's nothing wrong with therapy. Doing massages, but like going to cranial if you need it. Yoga, really just finding something that really helps you connect with this and help you heal. There's a lot of programs out there, guys, for healing. But the first step is the inner work. You have to connect with this person. Otherwise, all the other stuff is just like putting Band-Aids on everything. Does that kind of make sense? So having a community to connect with. I know that's tough as you get older, but you have to put yourself out there. Connection and deep heart-to-heart connection with other human beings is it's so rich. You know, like when you meet a friend or you meet up with a friend and you see them and afterwards you feel high. It's like, oh, I love her. That's my friend Michelle. Oh, she's my yoga instructor that taught me about self-care 7 years ago. But when I see her, I just feel like, gosh, I love her. I love her. And you feel high. You feel like, I want to be the best person that I can be. And those are the people that you need in your life. Mel, I love my friend Mel, my friend Janine, and this didn't start out this way. I'm a very introverted kind of loner. I like to kind of hide. I don't like being vulnerable. But in therapy, I taught that's very healing. Anyway, moving on. Yours one small thing. I talk about this. If you do not learn anything from our 5 days together, your one small thing. Jan, right on for you. It's the one thing that you focus on. Remember, you started taking notes and then you were like, I'm going to just focus on one project, right? It could be external, it could be internal, but if there's something you want to do, you want to run a mile, you want to run a marathon, you want to learn to dance or play the ukulele, choose that one thing and chunk it so small down, chunk it down so small that you just do it every day. You're going to screw up. You're going to, you know, come and go and fall and do all these things. But if you have the awareness of, I'm just choosing this one thing to focus on, you'll set yourself up for success. You'll be like, damn. And you'll start getting these, you know, kind of flexing your muscles like, I've got this. And then you'll start to get more confident and all of this. I'm telling you, these tiny baby steps, if you do those on a daily basis, again, you'll miss here and there, but for the most part, on a daily basis, doing your one small thing, I promise you, that's where the magic lies. It's like consistently, and then you're like, whoa, I did that for a month. You know, the meditation we talked about a couple of days ago. Now I've done it 4 years, and now I can do 90 minutes of a meditation with human beings. So one small thing, please hang out with that one. If anything, hang out with that one and just rock on with that one. Have fun. Fun is my middle name. I love fun. You need to be having more fun. Play, you know, jump in the pool, water balloon fight, like dancing, art, whatever floats your boat. Have more fun. Shake all the shiz off, all of it. day number 4 was schedule it. Scheduling it. Where are you? I talked to my business friend the other day, and she's like, when I talk about what you do on a daily basis, where are you on that? And that's legit. Like, her and I speak the same language, but where are you at on your to-do list? Are you not at all? Are you not on there? Put yourself on there. If you're on or if you're not on it at all, put yourself kind of like a few steps up, right? And if you're on like the middle, like try to put yourself up. Like, keep putting yourself up so it's very right up at the top for you, right? That you're not going to just flake on yourself. You're really going to get after it. You're really going to spend a few minutes of, you know, time having fun, or exercising, or pausing, or drinking wine by the fire, whatever it is. But try to make that where you're on your schedule, please, please. Day 5 is owning it. Just what we talked about for the last 30 minutes. Own your self-care. It's no one else's responsibility but your own. So I hope that you got something out of today. Please try to get after that day 5. It's so much fun. We handed out prizes this time. It was so much fun. We'll do this again in like 3 or 4 months when we do another one. But if you have any questions, you can, here, let me go to the comments real quick before we bounce. Oh, hi, Michelle. You're still on there, cutie pie. If you need anything, if you have any questions, let me know. But we're going to roll with it. So we did our giveaway, so 30 minutes with me, and then the stuff that we won for the week. That's the grand prize. I think that's it. So have a wonderful day. I went a few minutes over. I'm so sorry. But have a good day. Happy Valentine's Day. I hope that you give yourself some self-love. You don't forget about yourself when you're running all your errands for flowers and candy and kids and all of that stuff. Please don't forget about you. Your needs are important. Your feelings and everything that you're experiencing is 100% valid. And I want you to know, if you just start putting your awareness up, like, okay, I'm going to think about myself today, and you start retraining your mind of, where am I at? What can I do for myself today? And really start shedding all of that negative stuff about, oh, it's so lazy. Oh, that one drives me nuts, I think, the most. It's so selfish, right? Self-care is time consuming and costs so much money, and, you know, all of these things that like the whole society is just putting in. We've shown you these 5 keys. If you can do little ones, you'll start to gain the confidence. You'll start doing the work. You'll start showing up for yourself, and you're like, wow, I'm like confident today, you know? But it's these tiny baby steps. It's these shifts that you do on a consistent basis. This will not happen overnight. These mindsets will not change overnight. But it's just like, okay, I'm going to start creating this new thoughts. I'm going to start doing these new things for myself, just to put myself up here a little bit higher, so that I'm not burnout, stressed out, grumpy, gripey, snappy, irritated, you know, depressed, anxious, all of these things that moms go through. And I'm not saying that men don't go through them, but legit, moms reach out to me. They have been for the last 7 years since I've been online. Oh, how do you do it with 3 kids, you know, and food? And I don't even want to cook. All I do is feed them McDonald's. I mean, like, all of these things that we're going through, women are saying, I don't have any time. I don't have any money. I don't have any, you know, I'm not connected with my husband, or whatever it is. We're all pretty much going through a lot of the same stuff. And if we can kind of start changing it little by little, again, not going to run the marathon the first time you step out the door, but these little things over and over, it'll build your confidence. It'll shake all the stuff off. It'll help you get the courage that you need to, you know, if you need therapy, go to therapy. If you need to delegate, Instacart, hello, Whole Foods delivers on Amazon, like these things to help you, so you're not like, you know, you're not just like spinning your wheels and then you don't have joy and you don't have pleasure, because you have to have fun. So that's it. I'm going to let you go. I love you guys. Happy Valentine's Day. I hope you have a great time. Please enter that last giveaway. Will be announced tomorrow. And otherwise, bye, Jan. Have a great day. Bye, Michelle. And we'll see you guys tomorrow for, well, we'll announce our challenge winners and stuff tomorrow. All right. Peace out. Do, do, do.